Hi students, in the last class we discussed about exercise 2.1 and question number 8 up to G. And once again I repeated, so some statements are given and you can say that the statements are true or false. Okay, so the first statement is 0 is the smallest natural number. So this statement is false because 0 is the smallest whole number, 0 is not a natural number. And B, 400 is the predecessor of 399. So this statement also false. So because predecessor of 399 is 398. Predecessor means we subtract 1 from 399, then we get predecessor of that number. Here is 400 is given. 400 is the successor of 399. And C, 0 is the smallest whole number. That is true. 0 is the smallest whole number. We start whole numbers from 0. Then 0 is the smallest whole number. So that statement is true. And statement D, 600 is the successor of 599. Yes, that is true. Successor means we add 1 to 599. Then we get 599 plus 1 is equal to 600. So 600 is the successor of 599. So that statement is true. Then E, all natural numbers are whole numbers. It is true. All natural numbers start from 1 and etc. 1, 2, 3 etc. So all natural numbers are whole numbers. 1, 2, 3 is including 0 is called whole numbers. So all natural numbers 1, 2, 3 are whole numbers. So that statement is true. And the statement is all whole numbers are natural numbers. That is false. Whole numbers including 0. 0 is not a natural number. So that statement is false because all whole numbers are not natural numbers. Then G, the predecessor of a 2-digit number is never a single-digit number. It is false. The predecessor of 2-digit number 10 is 9. So 9 is a single-digit number. So the predecessor of 2-digit number is a single-digit number. So that statement is false. And the next statement, yes. Question number 8. Yes. 1 is the smallest whole number. 1 is the smallest whole number. Is it true or false? Whole numbers start from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. So whole numbers start from 0. So 0 is the smallest whole number. So in this statement, here they say that whole number 1 is the smallest whole number. This is false because 0 is the smallest whole number. So the statement which is false. And the next statement I. The statement I say that the natural number 1 has no predecessor. The natural number 1 has no predecessor. Yes, that statement is true because the natural number 1, for finding the predecessor of 1, we subtract 1 from 1. Then we get 0. 0 is not a natural number. So we cannot consider these are the predecessor of 1. So the natural number 1 has no predecessor. So this statement is true. We get 0 for subtracting 1 from 1, but 0 is not a natural number. So the natural number 1 has no predecessor. So this statement is true. The natural number 1 has no predecessor. Then the next statement J. The whole number 1 has no predecessor. The whole number 1 has no predecessor. Whole numbers means here the statement is natural number 1 has no predecessor because natural number starting from 1. Here behind 1 there is no digit. So natural number 1 has no predecessor. But the next statement J say that the whole number 1 has no predecessor. Whole numbers start from 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. Here the first number is 0 and we find the predecessor of 1. We subtract 1 from 1. 1 minus 1 we get 0. 0 is a whole number. The whole number 1 has a predecessor. Predecessor 0 because 0 is also a whole number. So that statement is false. Statement J is false. Then the next statement K. The whole number 30 lies between 11 and 12. The whole number 30 11 and 12. Is it true or false? It is false because between 11 and 12 there is no whole numbers and 13 is comes after 12. So this statement is false. The whole number 13 lies between 11 and 12 is false. And the statement A is false. And the next statement, L, the whole number 0 has no predecessor. The whole number 0 has no predecessor. Is it true or false? The whole numbers start from 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. So, this is the first whole number and the smallest whole number. We can subtract 0, 1 from 0, then we get minus 1. Minus 1 is not a whole number. So, behind 0 there is no whole number. So, the whole number 0 has no predecessor. This statement is true. Predecessor of 0 is negative 1. When we subtract 1 from 0, then we get negative 1. Negative 1 is not a whole number. So, the whole number 0 has no predecessor. So, whole number 0 has no predecessor. So, L is true. The whole number 0 has no predecessor. So, that this statement is true. And the last statement, M. The successor of a 2-digit number is always a 2-digit number. The successor of 2-digit number. Then when we take the successor of 99, the successor of 99. 99 is a 2-digit number. When we take the successor of these 2-digit number, then we get for finding successor we add 1 to 99, then we get 100. So 100 is a 3-digit number. It is not a 2-digit number. It is a 3-digit number. So the successor of 2-digit number is also a 3-digit number. So this statement is false. The successor of a 2-digit number is always a 2-digit number. That statement is false. The successor of 2-digit number is also be 3-digit number. Okay. So that statement is false. Once again I repeated the statements and their answers. The first statement is 0 is the smallest natural number, that is false. Then 400 is the predecessor of 399, it's also false. 0 is the smallest whole number, true. Then 600 is the successor of 599, it is true. All natural numbers are whole numbers, it is true. Then all whole numbers are natural numbers, it is false. All whole numbers are not natural numbers. Then the predecessor of a 2-digit number is never a single-digit number. It is false. The predecessor of 2-digit number is also a single-digit or 1-digit number. 1 is the smallest whole number. This is false. 0 is the smallest whole number. Then the natural number 1 has no predecessor. Yes, the natural number 1 has no predecessor because 1 is the smallest natural number. Then the whole number 1 has no predecessor. It is false. Whole numbers start from 0 and the predecessor of whole number 1 is 0. 0 is a whole number. It is false. Then A. The whole number 13 lies between 11 and 12. It is false. Between 11 and 12 there is no whole numbers and the whole number 13 comes after 12. So this statement is false. And statement L. The whole number 0 has no predecessor. Yes. Thus whole numbers start from 0 and 0 has no predecessor. So we subtract 1 from 0, then we get negative 1. Negative 1 is not a whole number. So this statement is true. And the last statement, the successor of a 2-digit number is also a 2-digit number. It is false. When we find the successor of 99, 99 is a 2-digit number. When we find the successor of 99, then we get 100. 100 is a 3-digit number. So the statement is false. And exercise 2.1 is over. Then we go to study about or learn about the properties of whole numbers. Whole numbers are different properties, and we look into various operations on numbers closely. Notice our operation properties, and the properties help to find the calculations easier. And for that we use properties of whole numbers, and the next question is properties of whole numbers. Properties of whole numbers. Properties of whole numbers. Okay, the first property is closure property. First property is closure property. So we look at the operations of whole numbers, that is addition, subtraction, division and multiplication, which operations are closed under this property, whole numbers. Okay, so the first one is closure under addition. First operation is addition. So first we look at the property of addition, closure property of addition, closure under addition, closure under addition, which means sum of any two whole numbers. We take any two whole numbers and add that two whole numbers, then we get also a whole number. The answer is also a whole number. That means the sum of any two whole numbers is a whole number. Sum of any two whole number is a whole number. That is the closed under addition. That means we take any two whole numbers. Whole numbers means 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. In these whole numbers, from these whole numbers we take any two whole numbers. That is 1 plus 2. Any two whole numbers, then we add the whole numbers, then we get 1 plus 2 is 3. So 3 is also a whole number. And another way, 0 plus 45 is also a whole number. When we add 0 plus 45, we get 45, and 45 is also a whole number. In this way, we add any two whole numbers, then we get a whole number. The sum of two whole numbers are always a whole number. So we say that addition is closed under, whole numbers is closed under addition. That is whole numbers are closed under addition, which means we take the sum of any two numbers. The answer is also be a whole number. And closure under subtraction, which means we take any two numbers. That means 25 minus 10. We get 25 minus 10, we get 15. So 15 is a whole number. It is a whole number. It is a whole number. And in another way, we subtract 30 minus 40. Right? That means we subtract 40 from 30. So in this case, 40 is the biggest number and 30 is the smallest number. So in this case, we subtract smallest number from the largest number and put the sign of largest number. So 40 minus 3, 30, we get 10, and the sign of 40 is negative, then we put negative sign. So we get negative 10. That is 30 minus 40, we get negative 10. So negative 10 is not a whole number. In whole numbers, there is only positive values, including 0. So here is negative 10. It is not a whole number. It is not a whole number. So we can say that the whole numbers are do not close under subtraction. Whole numbers are not closed under subtraction, because when we take the difference of two numbers, in some ways we get a whole number. In some another way we do not get a whole number. So we can say that whole numbers are not closed under subtraction. Whole numbers are closed under addition, and whole numbers are not closed under subtraction. We can say that whole numbers are closed under addition because we can add any two whole numbers, then we get a whole number. So we can say that whole numbers are closed under addition. But in the case of subtraction, in some ways we cannot get a whole number. So we can say subtraction is not closed under sorry, whole numbers are not closed under subtraction. And the next closure property is closed under multiplication. Closed under multiplication. If we take any two, if we take the product of any two whole numbers, then the answer is also be a whole number. For example, 5 and 3. We take two numbers 5 and 3, and we take the product of, we multiply these two numbers 5 into 3, 6. Then we get 30. 30 is a whole number. We take any two whole numbers. We take any two whole numbers. Then the answer is also be a whole number. And another example, 4 and 3. This is also whole numbers. And 4 into, we take the product of these two numbers. Then we get 4 into 3, 12. 12 is also be a whole number. So we take the product, or we find the product of any two whole numbers, then we get a whole number. So multiplication is closed under, sorry, whole numbers are closed under multiplication. In another example, we take 12 and 5. 12 and 5 are whole numbers, and we take the product of 12 and 5, then we get 12 into 5, 60. So 60 is also a whole number. In this way, we take any two whole numbers, then find the product, then we get the answer as also be a whole number. So we can say that whole numbers are closed under multiplication. So look at the we learned about the three properties based on closure properties, that is closed under addition, closed under subtraction, and closed under multiplication. Closed under addition means all whole numbers are closed under addition, because we take any two whole numbers and add, the sum of any two whole numbers is also be a whole number. So we can say that addition is, whole numbers are closed under addition. And in subtraction, whole numbers are not closed under subtraction. When we take any two difference of any two numbers, in sometimes we do not get a whole number, we get integers also. Okay, so we can say that whole numbers are not closed under subtraction. And the next one is closed under multiplication. Closed under multiplication in whole numbers are closed under multiplication. Whole numbers are closed under multiplication, which means we take any two whole numbers and multiply the numbers, and then we get the answer as a whole number. So the product of any two whole number is a whole number. So we can say that whole numbers are closed under multiplication. And another operation, division. Division of the closure property, closed under division. Closed under division, we can take any two digits, that is any two digits mean any two whole numbers. Okay, 8 and 4, we take 8 and 4, 8 and 4 are whole numbers, and we can find the we can divide the numbers 8 divided by 4, then we get 2. 2 is a whole number. Then another question, we take 5 and 7. Okay, we take 5 and 7. Then we divide 5 by 7. We get 5 by 7. Please divide 5 by 7. Then we get a decimal value. Decimal value is not a whole number. So closed under division. Division is, whole numbers are not closed under division, because sometimes we get a decimal value. So whole numbers are not closed under division. Whole numbers are not closed under division. So these are the closure properties of whole numbers. So first one is closure property. Closure property means addition and multiplication of a closure property. Addition and multiplication of a closure property, because we take any two numbers 5 and 7. First one is closed under addition. We say that whole numbers are closed under addition because we add 5 and 7, then we get 12. So these are two whole numbers. The answer is also be a whole number. So we can say that So we get negative 2. This is not a whole number. So we can say that subtraction is whole numbers are not closed under subtraction. Not closed under subtraction. Then the next operation is multiplication. For multiplying these two numbers, 5 into 7, then we get 35. So 5 and 7 are whole numbers. The answer 35 is also a whole number. So we can say that whole numbers are closed under multiplication. So whole numbers are closed under multiplication. So another operation, division, 5 by 7. When we divide 5 by 7, then we get a decimal value. So decimal value is not a whole number. So we can say that whole numbers are not closed under division. So whole numbers are only closed under addition and subtraction. So addition and subtraction, the operations of addition and subtraction is only obey closure property. And in same way, we also study about the other properties of whole numbers, which means the second property is commutativity. First one is closure property. Addition and multiplication obey closure property. Addition and multiplication closed under closure property. Okay, closed under whole numbers are closed under addition and multiplication. And the next property is commutativity. Commutativity is also obey addition and multiplication. Let us see. Commutativity means when we can add or multiply. First one is addition. So when we add any two numbers, then in two ways, we get the same answer. That means first one is, the next property is commutativity. Commutativity of all numbers. Okay. So commutativity means first one is commutativity for addition. Addition means when we take any two numbers, that is A and B are two numbers. We add A and B in two ways. That is, we add A plus B and also we add B plus A. So we can add these two numbers in two ways. In these two ways, we can get the same answer, which means A plus B is equal to B plus A. So we can say that whole numbers are commutative under addition. Let us see an example. Here A and B are two numbers. Let us see an example. We take two numbers as 5 and 8. Then we add 5 and 8 in two ways. That is 5 plus 8. We get 13. In another way, we add these two numbers as 8. We can write 8 first. Then 8 plus 5. We also get 13. So we add these two numbers in two ways, but we get the same answer, 13. So we can say that whole numbers are commutative for addition. So addition and multiplication are commutative for whole numbers. Addition is commutative for whole numbers. Addition is commutative. And here you can see that we take two whole numbers. The answer is also be a whole number, and the answer is same in two ways, and the answer is also be a whole number. So we can say that addition is commutative. Or the operation addition obey the commutative property of whole numbers. Okay, addition of. Then take another example, 6 and 4. We can also add 6 and 4 in two ways. That is 6 plus 4. Then we get 10. Then we add 4 plus 6. You can also get 10. Then this number is also a whole number and answer is same in two ways. So we can say that addition is commutative. Addition is commutative. And the next one is commutative property. Addition and multiplication is also only obey commutative property. So we can see the multiplication. Okay. Multiplication. Commutative of multiplication, which means we take any two whole numbers. That is 4 and 5. Then we multiply these two numbers in two ways. We get the same answer. That means we multiply 4 into 5, then we get 20. And also we multiply in the opposite way. 5 into 4, then also we get 20. That is, these two whole numbers are multiplied. These two whole numbers are multiplied, then we get a whole number. And these two whole numbers are multiplied in two ways, then we get the same answer. So we can say that multiplication is commutative. Another example for multiplication is commutative. We take 3 and 4. It's a whole number. 3 and 4 are whole numbers. Then we multiply or find the product of 3 and 4 by 3 into 4. Then we get 12. And another way, we write 4 as first and 3 in second position. So we get 4 into 3 is 12. So we can say that multiplication is commutative. And we write as A into B. If the numbers are A and B, then we write A into B is equal to B into A. Here 3 into 4 is equal to 12 and 4 into 3 is equal to 12. And we can write 3 into 4. The answer of 3 into 4 is same as 4 into 3. 3 into 4 is equal to 3 into 4. That is 12 is equal to 12. So in this way, we write the general formula of commutative multiplication is commutative as A into B is equal to B into A. We can write also commutative general formula of commutative addition as A plus B is equal to B plus A. This addition shows that addition is commutative. And multiplication is commutative. Multiplication is commutative. For showing multiplication is commutative, we shows the general formula as A into B is equal to B into A. This is the general formula for multiplication to show multiplication is commutative. Okay, so addition is commutative because A plus B is equal to B plus A. Then multiplication is also commutative, that is A into B is equal to B into A. So we studied about two properties of whole numbers, that is closure property and commutativity. So closure property addition and multiplication is whole numbers are closed under addition and multiplication, and commutativity addition and multiplication is commutative for whole numbers. That is, in addition A plus B is equal to B plus A, and multiplication of commutativity A into B is equal to B into A. These are the two properties of whole numbers. And the next property is associativity. Next property is associativity. In the associative property, also addition and multiplication are associative for whole numbers. Okay. So the next property is associativity. So here also addition and multiplication are associative for whole numbers. When we show the associative property, we B plus C. So let us see an example. Here A and B, and C are three whole numbers. Then these three whole numbers are added in two ways. That is A plus B. We take first two numbers into the bracket and add the third digit to the sum of first two numbers. And another way, second way is we take the sum of second and third numbers and we add the first number to the sum of B and C. Let us see an example. Here the whole numbers given are 3, 5 and 6. 3, 5 and 6. So for associative property we apply operations of A plus B plus C and A plus B plus C. For associativity the operations are A plus B plus C and A plus B plus C. Okay, so we apply these operations to this question 3, 5 and 6. So first we take first two digits into the bracket, that is 3 plus 5, sum of 3 plus 5 into the bracket. Then we add 6 to the sum of these two numbers, that is 3 plus 5 on the bracket 10 plus 6. Then we get, first we take the sum of digits on the bracket, that is 3 plus 5 we get 8, then plus 6. Then we get 8 plus 6. 8 plus 6 we get 14. 8 plus 6 we get 14. And in another way, the first thing, the second and 3 is 3 plus, take the sum of 5 and 6 into the bracket. Then we get, first we write 3 here, 3 plus, we take the sum of digits numbers into the bracket, that is sum of 5 and 6. Then we get 5 plus 6, 11. Then we get 14. So the answer is a whole number and we get the same answer in these two ways. Okay. So associativity addition is associative. We add three numbers in these two ways, we get the same answer and the answer is also be a whole number. So we can say that addition is associative. Addition is associative. So let us look for another question. Another question for addition, associativity for addition. That is, the question is 10, 5 and 4. The numbers are 10, 5 and 40. 10, 5 and 40. So we apply associativity to this number. We can find the answer in two ways, that is A plus B plus C and A plus B plus C. So the first way is we take the sum of first two digits into the bracket and add 40 to that sum. Then 10 plus 5 we get 15. Then 15 plus 4 we get 55. We get answer 55. And another way, 10 is 10 plus 5, sum of 5 and 14 into the bracket. Then we get is equal to 10 plus 5 plus 40, 45. So we get 10 plus 45, 55. So 55 is also be a whole number. And in these two ways we get the same answer and the answer is also be a whole number. So we can say that addition is associative. Addition is associative. Then the next one is associativity for multiplication. Associativity for multiplication. For multiplication. So in multiplication, in the same way, we take any three numbers. The three numbers are A, B and C. Let us consider the three numbers are A, B and C. Then we find the product of these three numbers in two ways, like addition A into B. We take the product of A and B into the bracket and we multiply C into the product of A and B. This is also equal to take the product of B and C in bracket. Second way is take the product of B and C into the bracket. That is A into B into C is equal to A into B into C. Okay. So this is the associativity for multiplication. Let us see an example. Question is 2, 4, 9. Here in associativity, three numbers are given, 2, 4 and 9. And we can show that these three numbers are, or these three whole numbers are associative for multiplication. So that we take first the product of 2 and 4, first two numbers into bracket, then into 9. Then we get 4 into 2, 8 into 9. 8 9s are 72. 8 9s are 72. Then the another way, we take the second and third digit, product of second and third digit into the bracket, that is 4 into 9. 2 into 4 into 9. Then we get 2 into product of two numbers into the bracket is 4 into 9. 9 4s are 36. 9 4s are 36. And 36 into 2. 36 into 2 we get also 72. 6 2s are 12. Remainder 1. 3 2s are 6. 6 plus 1 7. Also 72. And so multiplication of all numbers are associative because we take three numbers, then we multiply these three numbers into two ways, then we get the same answer, and the answer is also be a whole number. So we can say that multiplication is also associative. So addition and multiplication is associative. Addition and multiplication is associative. And another property, the fourth property is distributive property. The next property is distributive property. Distributive property. Distributive property means the multiplying a sum by a number give the same result as multiplying each added by the number and then adding to the products together. Which means we multiply a number by a sum of any two numbers. Which means we consider the whole numbers are A, B and C. First we take the sum of B and C. We multiply a number into the sum of any two numbers, that is A into B plus C, which is equal to A into B. That is equal to A into B plus B into C. That is equal to A into B plus B into C. Which means when we multiply a number by the sum of two numbers by a number, then we get the same result that we multiply the addends means B and C added to the multiplying number A, then we take the sum of these products, the answer is same. So let us see an example, that is distributive property is A into B plus C is equal to A into B plus B into C. This is also a form of expanding bracket, that is A into B plus C. We can write first, we open the bracket, we multiply first A into B, then we multiply A into C, then we get A into B, then put positive sign, then A into C. Okay, so this is equal to A into B plus A into C. This is distributive property. So let us see an example. Question is, the whole numbers are 3, 4 and 5. Whole numbers are 3, 4 and 5. So we can find in two ways, that is first one is A into B plus C. That is here A, B, C. So 3 into, take the sum of 4 and 5, 4 plus 5. Then we get 3 into 5 plus 4, 9. Then we get 27. 9 into 3, 27. Then another way, that is we multiply each added with a, that is equal to, numbers are 3 into 4, that is open the bracket, 3 into 4 positive sign, then 3 into 5, 3 into 5, then we get 3 4s are 12, 5 3s are 15, 12 plus 15 we also get 27. Okay, so multiplication, so all numbers are distributive. Once again, another example. 12 into 35. We want to write 12 into 35 or find the product of 12 and 12 into 35 by using distributive property. For finding for distributive property, we apply the general formula as A into B plus C. A into B plus C. For find the general formula, first we write these two numbers into the general formula. First A is 12, then into 35. 35 we want to write 35 in the form of B plus C. So we can write 35 as 30 plus 5. So we write B plus C in the form of B plus C as 30 plus 5. First we write into the form of distributive property. Then we multiply these two numbers. This is also we return as 12 into 30. By opening the brackets we get then 12 into 5. 12 into 5. Here 12 into 30 plus 5. 30 plus 5. 35 is equal to here 12 into 3. 3 2s are 6. 1 3 is 3. Then 1 0 plus 12 into 5. 5 2s are 10. Remainder 1. 1 5 is 5. Then 6. So by multiplying 12 into 35 we get 420. Here also 360 plus 60 we get 420. So in these two ways we get the same answer, and the answer is also here whole number. So whole numbers are distributive. These are the four properties of whole numbers, and another property identity for addition and multiplication that we will study in our next classes. So today let us wind up our class. Study well. Thank you.